we have a new person with us for the Star Wars team. Would you like to let the community know who you are?
My name's Stephen Reid, and I'm the newly hired online community manager.
Okay, and so you're going to be working directly with the community. People are going to really get to know your name on the official forums and everything, right?
Yep, that's the plan.
For better or worse. To let everyone know what your background is and just some of the places you've worked for before and games you've been part of.
Sure. Just recently, I was working at Gazillion, who people may know have the license to do Marvel MMOs. So I was working on a couple of those. Had a little bit of time working on Jumpgate Evolution as well. Did a little bit of work on another unannounced project. Before that, for a brief period, I was at Trion, now Trion Worlds. Was working on, it was then called Heroes of Talara, now Rift, Plains of Talara. And before that, I was 4 years at NCSoft in Europe, so I worked on everything they put out in that time. So City of Heroes, Guild Wars, Ultima Assault, Tabula Rasa, RIP, a little bit of time on Ion as well. So yeah, everything they did. And then going even further back, I worked at PlayStation, I worked at AOL, now I'm dating myself. So.
Well, that's quite a resume you've got there. So, something special about the Old Republic and the marketing and the community focus that it has is the fact that they've been doing Friday updates every Friday for over 2 years now with, I don't know where we're at, somewhere in the neighborhood of 110 consecutive Fridays.
Yep.
So, how does it feel to be walking onto a team that has that marketing production
It's a large part of everybody's focus on a daily basis. To be honest, unsurprisingly. I actually got hired, or rather I started on a Thursday, which was kind of strange. I started the day before we put up the update detailing the Imperial Agent. So I kind of saw close up how much effort goes into those. And it's exciting. We got a lot of stuff planned out for the conceivable future, and we're always sort of working on that. There's an awful lot of email that flies around, a lot of meetings and discussions about how to get it done. But it's a good team, and they're really dedicated and working really hard. And yeah, got nothing but good to say about them.
So, being new to the project, being new to the team, being on there, if there was something that you've discovered, kind of being behind the scenes and being able to see things that you would like to tell the community, possibly about something that shocked you or surprised you that they might not be getting.
Yeah, scope is something. I don't know. I mean, that did shock and surprise me. I mean, I think it's been well documented that this is a very large game, but it's kind of easy for us to kind of glibly say. Glibly is maybe too strong, but it's kind of easy to say this is as big as every other BioWare game ever made put together. You don't really kind of get a sense of that until you start to look under the hood and really understand the scope of things. So, to give you an example, inside the first week I pulled our main design documentation and the story Bible. I'm not going to give you specific numbers, but the game design Bible, which is all the game systems in the game, is massive. The story Bible is 2.5 times the size of the game design Bible. And I was actually, when I looked at it, they were like, yeah, don't read that, unless you want to be completely spoiled and know all the stuff before, and every now and again when we're having conversations, they go, well, in the Jedi Knight story, and then I'll be like, no. But that's just the way it is with game development. But yeah, there's a lot of size and scale to it, which I know everybody has heard a lot of times, but it's kind of hard to convey. And to be honest, that's kind of one of my key things is trying to help you guys understand the scale of this thing, because it's bigger than anything I've ever worked on, and I think it's bigger than almost anything anyone's probably ever played, and that's not. I know that sounds like hyperbole, but it isn't designed to be hyperbole. It just really is that big.
Just a question on community.
Sure.
I was asked all kinds of community people. What defines a good community for a game versus a poor community for a game?
I don't know. This is kind of a corny answer, but I don't really think there is such a thing as a good or a bad community. Communities can have good spots and bad spots, right? You can go through good times and bad times. And a lot of that is dependent on how things are going with the game, whether the game is live or not, and what you're talking about the game at any given time. In terms of management of it, I think a good thing for us is obviously trying to keep the lines of communication open as much as possible, which is something I'm going to be working on. I am working on already to try and help that flow a little bit better. That's really the core thing for me, right? Is keeping those lines open as much as we can.
So, thank you very much for taking the time to introduce yourself to the community and for talking with us today. And anything else you'd like to say, closing going out?
No.
To the community? You don't want to say anything to the community?
Thanks for being fans, and try not to read too much into everything you see.